Like, what we're doing for lunch today.
Diarrhea.
Oh, I had the biggest poop last night after I had steak for dinner. It was like 3 pounds of shit. Some of that's been in there for 3 years.
Oh, Derek's disgusting. Speaking of disgusting, welcome back to Casino Guitars YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about shipping. But not
with a P. Shipping.
But before we get into it, click like, subscribe,
hit the bell,
the ding dong. As you're in it, if you don't mind, it makes everything better in the whole universe, and the environment will improve. Yeah. But shipping guitars is often a question we get. We've done some videos before talking about. We're not going to get into like the details of like how to actually pack your guitar too much. We'll do that a bit, but just talk about the insider tips from shipping. We ship a lot of guitars, but also how our manufacturers do it, who our manufacturers use, who we have used, the whole process, and what we stick in there. Peanuts, real, actual, live peanuts. Now, if they stop watching the video right now, somebody's going to do that. Which is really funny.
Just the holes. Yeah.
So we've been shipping guitars for a while now.
Yeah.
I remember back when like Casino Guitars first opened years back, and like we had our first guitar to ship, and I was like, how do we do this?
I'm guessing it was a less frequent occurrence back then.
Yeah, when you first open the doors, you're selling guitars.
Ship a ton.
Yeah, brick and mortar.
Yeah.
It's like you're just selling guitars in the store mostly, and then all of a sudden, like people start calling up on that old rotary phone or the dial-up internet modem, like, hey, click place order. And you're like, wow, this guitar just sold. How do I get it from point A to point B?
Pony Express.
I mean, it felt like that. We're like trying to figure things out. So we've done we're going to talk about the shippers first, and then which manufacturers use shippers, and which shippers they use too. But we've used about every shipper.
We've pretty much tried everything.
We've had accounts with FEDEX, UPS, USPS.
We've even used DHL for one or two things.
We have used DHL,
Yeah.
like back in the early days of shipping international, when we didn't know what we were doing again as well. Now we've sort of settled on this thing called Shipnerd.
Yes. And
we have a wonderful human at Shipnerd that we deal with, and she's fantastic. And if anybody's interested in using that, we can let you know. But Shipnerd is sort of an equivalent of like Expedia, or Google Flights. Anyway, it sort of like prices out the best thing for you. And it always tends to be the same provider, UPS.
Right.
But anyway,
you can sort of tell, like
UPS. But no, it's great rates because if you ship in bulk, it makes sense. If you're just a one shipper,
then you probably doesn't matter to you.
It doesn't do it. But it really helps with us and the discount. And they've been a great company to work with.
Yeah. And I was skeptical at first. I was like,
we were all skeptical. She had to drive hard. I was like, another salesperson. Annoying. But let's jump back let's go to the UPS, who we primarily use UPS.
We've had really good results with UPS.
Almost 95% of the time we're using UPS for guitars.
Yeah.
And they're great. You can ship with, we always ship with insurance.
Yep.
Always ship with signature required.
Yes.
It prevents things like this happening. A guitar being leaned against your mailbox. 30 feet from your house, 5 feet from the road. Maybe you're home, maybe you're not.
Maybe you're not. Hopefully you're paying attention. I don't know.
We saw that story on the internet. We just started all like.
I was on what was that? The gear page Derek pulled up. Yeah, it's just a picture of the guitar.
Leaning against
the dude said it was like a $3,000 Telecaster, just hanging out.
That's an expensive Telecaster.
Plus, just in the sun,
God, I just took in more. I mean, it's already sitting in the postal services. So jumping back to USPS. Now we actually do use them quite a bit for shipping T-shirts, pedals, hats, accessories. They make the most sense when it's sort of an under the level price. Now, if you're working at USPS,
or a small thing.
Yes, and you're like, no, that's not true. We do the best everything. We have the best rates. That is true. They do have really good rates.
You get what you pay for sometimes.
And I'm not, I got a good friend of mine. Well, I haven't seen him in a while. Sherman, he was like a postmaster. I love him. He's a hipster postmaster.
All right.
And I say hipster in the original. He's like a 40-something-year-old dude too, so he's cool. And he's the original hipster from like Brooklyn.
Fair enough.
He's got the mustache and the beards and like handlebars and all sorts of things. I don't know how he works in the post industry in the South. It's crazy. I think everyone probably hates him because he's like, hey, let me tell you about this cool song that no one's ever heard about. Bam! And he'll sing it. And he's great. And he's talented. It's weird. Anyway, Postmaster Sherman. But no, but when we've shipped with USPS before to Canada, and once it leaves the magical borderline that we've invented, that doesn't matter in real life except for to animals. Don't know about that at all. Obviously, I mean, just as humans do, and then it just disappears.
It's like it's gone.
We don't know where it is until it arrives, or
hopefully it does arrive,
or it doesn't.
It literally is at the border. It's just gone.
We've had some things just as, and I remember once when we had, this is in the early days of Casino Guitars too, we had a USPS that we did for shipping. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm thinking about this. It was a PRS. It happened with PRSs twice, I think. And it was credit card fraud. We didn't have the systems in place on how to prevent that and see it as easily. Now we nail it pretty immediately. But it went out, like, I remember like realizing it after we'd taken it to the post office. So it's still in the post office, but they'd closed. So I'm like knocking on the door and like, we're closed, can't open. I'm like, no, you have my box. I just want to get it back. It's like, sorry, we're closed. I can't get it to you. I'm like, can you help me stop it? Like, just go online and say you want to cancel it. So I do that. They're like, oh, that didn't work. But it was literally, I was there like a wall away from my guitar that went, and I was furious. Happened again. Like, you know, like not the same situation, but it went out and it was, and there's no help there. It's just like, sorry. It's, you know, like with UPS and FedEx, there's a very thorough fraud department.
Right.
At least to contact when this does happen.
And you're not quite so just out in the wind if you are shipping like Canada or something, you know?
No, UPS is great with shipping internationally, and Shipnerd has been fantastic because the customs forms.
Right.
It's all built in there. You're not trying to find all these weird things and plugging them in.
Before that, when I remember when we first started doing that, and I would be trying to find the codes, ear 99, and we could never remember it. And we'd take pictures of them and be like, "This is the codes. Remember, this is our little tariff thing." Oh God.
Well, it happened to Derek too. Like he had like two guitars just disappear in the ethosphere of USPS as well.
One of his was like a double neck guild, like a
something crazy, and like. I think his wife, like at the time, just dropped it off and didn't insure it or ask for signature or something. She just took it in and he was like, oh, and then it's gone.
Like a pretty rare, pretty darn expensive, guild double neck. But
now who do the manufacturers use? Let's break into it. Who does Fender use? Do you remember?
FedEx.
Yes. Who does PRS use?
FedEx.
Yes, and they have great track records with it. Who does Taylor and Martin use?
UPS.
Now that sort of begs me to sort of think that acoustic guitars need a little bit more care, maybe.
Maybe so.
So maybe they feel more confident in their coverage and the rates that they've worked out too. Yeah. Because you can negotiate rates. That's the thing, is like when you ship such a high quantity, you're not going to the UPS store. Don't go to the UPS store. I'm sorry if you work at a UPS store.
Yeah.
Or like it's just so much more expensive.
When I used to just occasionally personally ship guitars, I just did not realize the markup there.
I didn't either.
It's insane, dude.
I didn't either. It's like, can I get a box? That'll be $50. Oh, no.
We're gonna tape this thing for you. It's $100. It's not
what?
that bad. But yeah.
No, it is. But it's sort of shocking.
I
guess it costs $300 to ship a guitar down the street.
Well, you hear people say things like that, and they're like, "I just don't want to ship it." I'm like, it's like,
it's not that hard.
$60.
It's $30 if it's within a state or two distance. You can still, if you're not insuring
do it for a lot less, right?
Or if you're not if you don't have to get signature required. Like if I'm shipping to a UPS store, which is awesome to do as well. Sometimes we ship a great. What did we just ship to Florida to old Michael? Gretsch. We're shipping to a UPS store. You don't need to do signature required. It should be there on a Tuesday sometime in the world. I remember Tuesday was the date.
There you go. Easy.
Which might be today. Who knows? It's green. It's cool. So if you're waiting there to steal guitars, wait at the UPS store. It should be showing up. But they'll hold the guitar for you if you have an account there.
That's a good way to do.
That
is a good use for the UPS store.
It's a good safe place. UPS store is actually not UPS, so it's a weird. People think private. It's UPS. Yeah. It's a franchise type chain system.
It's true.
UPS is UPS. UPS stores are something entirely different with a connection set up. I think those are the three main. I don't think anybody uses the USPS.
Not that I know of.
The major manufacturers that we work with.
No.
Who does Magnetone use? I can't remember.
I can't remember if it's FedEx or UPS. It's one of those.
And
it usually comes freight though, so it's a little different.
Well, and then
for us.
Two Rock does freight a lot too, because they'll ship in large groupings sometimes, and they'll finish a batch, freight it all together and ship it out to us, which makes more sense. Freight is often safer. We've used some great freight companies before to ship some estates worth of guitars across, where it's just, it doesn't cost more once you have a large enough guitar group. You just have to be able to make sure they can box it properly.
Right. So if you're just casually selling your own personal guitars, you're probably not going to be using a freight company. But if you
have a large collection of like 10 or 8 and up guitars, and they're worth something,
and you're selling them to the same spot,
put them in a box.
Done.
Use a freight supplier. It's safer. It's not going to cost any more. They travel one thing. There's not going to be one that disappears.
No.
And you have to do the math on it too. That one disappears, and you're selling all these other ones. The entire profit is gone now.
God.
So you just you're just selling everything else to catch up.
Yeah, it's true.
Welcome to Guitar Business 101. Now, basically, it works out for us. Big things, guitars, UPS.
Yes.
Small things, USPS. We love that. We've used UPS for certain small things, like when it's a high value, maybe.
Yeah.
Like if you're shipping a Klon.
Yeah, because I feel like just USPS, generally, the tracking is not very good.
No.
And
tracking matters to us.
And we had a guy who was a friend of ours, had a guitar delivered to the shop just so that it would, be somewhere safe.
That's something else people can do.
But it was the guy who built the guitar, just smaller, like boutique builder, which is cool. But he uses USPS, and the guitar kind of disappeared like off the grid as far as the tracking. It said it was supposed to be delivered a certain day, and then it's like, oh, it's gonna be delivered later.
So he was sort of panicking a bit.
Well, yeah, because and then it's like, oh, the guitar is lost. Oh, we don't know where it is, and then it just was here.
But
we've
had that happen too when we ship stuff to Canada or whatever, when we were using that system, and it's like, well, it's gone, we can't tell you, and they're like, we don't know, and then this might be 3 weeks later.
Well, then I need to ask him online if it still says that guitar is out in the wind, because we've had that happen where like USPS said a guitar was just lost, but it's been at the destination for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. So.
And ours got here like a few days before he was found out, because we received a lot of guitars, and I don't think he was told immediately, but that happens. It wasn't long. It was just like a day or two.
Like a day or so, yeah. But, and I didn't even realize it when he told me. He's like, he's lost. I was like, oh no, call the guy. And I was like, hey, your guitar's here.
It's a lot of guitars show up sometimes.
But yeah, the tracking and the actual reality didn't match.
And quickly, just if you have stuck around this long and you want to learn about packing of the guitars, there's some great videos on that. But like our basic rundown is like, if you can, use what the manufacturer sends guitars in. So that means if you have a local guitar shop near you, go talk to them. They might have enough supplies. We save everything, and we supplement it with some of our own things. And sometimes we change the box if we don't like the boxes they ship with. Martin has the best boxes.
True.
They're better than Taylor's. They're a little bit sturdier, and their packing is awesome with those inflatable blow up things.
Oh, those are awesome.
Whatever that is.
But 90% of the time we use the packaging, even if it's not the exact box, it's the same sort of brand and the same. Yeah. So that's the way to do it. Just go to your guitar shop, say, hey, I'm shipping an electric, and they'll probably.
I mean, we give away most of the stuff we have. If we have to do the packing supplies, we have to charge a little bit because we have to pay for some of it, but not much. It's and then guitar shops even ship it for you. We're not in the business of shipping, but it's a way just to, develop a decent relationship with them. If like tip the guys there if you're doing it or something. That'd be nice just to help offset the time because they're not going to try to make any money.
Bring them some donuts,
or bring them donuts,
or brownies. We like brownies.
We do like brownies.
Too much.
Or cupcakes.
Honestly.
Yeah, Derek has a direct conveyor belt to his office from the brownie shop next door.
We have a brownie shop. Technically, they're a cupcake shop, but the brownies are so good that that's all we care about. It's true.
Is the name of the shop, C Cups. And if you need some great cupcakes, it's kind of like Magnolia Bakery up in New York.
There you go.
Except you don't have to wait in line around the block. And our people are much more pleasing to the eye.
Yes.
At C Cups, I believe. So it's a fantastic place, and they're wonderfully kind and nice.
All these things are true.
But yeah, for packing as well, use the manufacturer supply. If you're not, like, peanuts in general are a weird thing.
We hate.
It's a nightmare. It doesn't really hold it because it keeps settling. It doesn't protect it from a jarring hit.
They're so messy.
You just want to get to where the guitar's not moving a lot. You don't need to stuff all the edges and stuff with like foams and papers and everything. The guitar cases are built to protect the guitar.
It's the top and the bottom.
Top and the bottom.
If you do the shake test, if you shake the box and you're going blah, 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 then it's not good enough. But if you shake it and nothing moves, you're great.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake. That was fun.
That was great.
I enjoyed that. I did the shake weights. It was acting.
Did you shake weights?
I shake weighted it. That's kind of it. If you have any like stories that you've had, like, you know, besides like the nightmares or even the nightmares, just share them. But it's an interesting thing, and now you know sort of which manufacturers use what, and that sort of might give you an idea on who you should use. And always feel free to reach out, give us a phone call at the shop if you got questions on it. Give us an email. We don't mind answering questions, helping people get guitars to the right places.
We're helpers.
Sometimes. Anything else, Johnny?
I think that's it.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a bath. Taking the kids to a concert tomorrow.
An actual bath or like a shower?
I'm gonna take a bath.
God.
Like a Western bath. Like a bath where like I'm gonna have my wife bring me hot buckets of water.
Then you're just gonna stew in your own filth.
I'm gonna stew my filth with a bottle of whiskey and my 6-shooter on the side. Oh, nice.
You can do like a steam thing where you just get really hot, then you like squeegee yourself off your
I
sweat.
don't like steam things. I've been in those. I do not find that enjoyable. I'm going home.
So
Bye.
you're very clean. It's very clean.